Hello and welcome to this special episode here at the wonderful world of knitting. My name is Kathleen and today I'm going to do my Make 9 plans for 2024. So yes, welcome to any new viewers. You might have stumbled across my video. Thank you for joining me and welcome back to any returning viewers. So yeah, it's a special episode and hopefully in a few weeks time I will also do my regular episode as well and show you what I've been up to. So yes, it's going to be my Make 9 for 2024. So for any who may not know, any new knitters or creators, what is a Make 9? So Make 9, what you do is you pick 9 projects, anything that you want to create, that you want to make in a year. It's an actual thing, and there were a few people as well on social media, quite a few on Instagram and everywhere, that set themselves a Make 9 challenge. YouTube as well, everywhere really on social media, set themselves a Make 9 challenge. So yeah, the idea is that you set yourself that challenge and you create 9 objects, not just knitting but sewing as well, and all sorts of different things. So because obviously I'm a knitter, I'm going to talk about my Make 9s, my knitting plans for 2024. So yeah, settle in, grab yourself a drink. I have a tea today. So, and let's talk about my knitting plans. So actually this year, 2024, I'm going to do something completely different to what I've done in the previous years. So in the last 2 years, I didn't really have any knitting plans. I just would sometimes spontaneously cast on whatever caught my eye. And so, which is nice, you know, you've got that spontaneity, no, what's the word? Anyway, you know what I mean, just being spontaneous. And yes, so that's what I've done in the previous 2 years, where you just, you don't really have set plans. You just knit whatever you want to, and you may even leave a few projects in the corner and just cast on something new. So yeah, it's nice. But this year I'm doing something different, and so what I've done is because I want to be more intentional in my knitting, and because I don't have much time, what I want to do is I set myself a set list of patterns that I want to make this year, which is my Make 9. It's actually 10, but yeah, the heading is Make 9. For me, it's 10. I set 10 projects. I'm planning for 10 projects that I'm going to make. Yes, the reason being is I want to be more intentional, as I said, and also this way you actually are forced to think about the projects. You know, you're asking yourself, am I really going to wear this? Is this something that will fit into my wardrobe? And when you don't have knitting plans as such, you might just, you know, cast on something and then you actually realize, oh, I don't actually like this. So it's a good way to plan ahead and really think about what you're going to wear, and think about the colors, and also think about whether this project is actually something that teaches you something new in knitting, because that is the other thing, that going forward I only want to knit things that are kind of special, that have a special design feature, or do color work. So I want to move away from the simple pullovers. Basically I want to knit different things, more fashionable things as well, and this I think is reflected in the knitting plans that I have. So I've set the list, as I said. It is 10 projects, and let's talk about them now without further ado. I'm going to put up the list here now on the screen, so I will let you have a look at that, and then I shall talk about them. Yeah, so these are my Make 10 for the year, and let's start with the first one, which is the Svila Camisole by Caidree. I'm going to put a picture each time. I'm going to put a picture on the screen for you to see the pattern on Ravelry. So this one caught my eye because I love this detail here at the bust. You've got the increases, because first you knit the 2 cups. You knit from the top down, so this gives you the a good way to play with the length and to modify the length in case it's too short. If you knit bottom up, then it's kind of, sometimes it's tricky to work out, is it really long enough? So this is work from the top down. It has these straps, and I would have to definitely, I always have to wear a bra, so I cannot be without a bra. So the bra will show you because the straps are very thin, but I can always wear a cardigan on top, so that's fine. So yeah, what I really like here with this pattern is that you have, as I said, these lines here, these decorative increases as you knit both cups. I believe you knit them separately. You knit back and forth one side and then the other side, then you join it together, you knit the straps, and then you knit down, and there will be an easy knit. I have the yarn in stash already as well, so I'm gonna use the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. So yeah, that's my first one. What else is there to say? Oh yes, it has a gauge of 25 stitches, fingering weight yarn, and will be a quick knit. I cannot wait to cast it on. This will be a knit in the summer, so I'm going to focus, obviously, now that it's still winter. I'm going to knit my winter garments, and then in the summer, I think I have about 3 projects set aside that I will be knitting in the summer. And as I said, it is all planned out. So there will be no spontaneous cast-ons. I'm only focusing on these projects. And, you know, I'll see how it goes anyway. I mean, you know, I can always change it up again next year if I don't get on with this way of knitting. You know, if I want to have that spontaneity back, then I can always, you know, change it next year. But yeah, hold me accountable in case. I will come back to you at the end of the year when I will do my makes of 2024, and then let's see if I actually managed to knit those 10 garments. We shall see. I think one of them is actually an accessory. So yeah, that was the first one. Let's move on to the second one, which is the Ranunculus. It's going to be a summer Ranunculus that I'm going to be making in the summer. And I have already actually cast this on in my previous episodes. You can see this. I wanted to include it in my Make 9, Make 10 video. So yeah. That's the Ranunculus. It has a gauge of 14 stitches in 10 centimeters, and I'm knitting it with Drop Spell, which is a cotton linen yarn, I believe. And yeah, I've already cast it on, and then it's waiting for me to pick it up in the summer. This would be my first Ranunculus. As you all know, the Ranunculus is very popular. And many knitters have knitted several Ranunculus. It's kind of a thing to knit not just one Ranunculus, but to knit several, because it's such a versatile pattern and you can adjust it. You can use any fiber, you can even change your stitch gauge. The awesome thing about this pattern is that you don't actually have to decide on the size yet when you cast on. You cast on, and then you see how it fits you, you knit the yoke, and then you decide on the size, which is amazing. I've never knitted a garment like this. So yeah, that is my second project that I'll be making this year, the Ranunculus. I'm going to make a pink one, so we shall see if I will actually wear it. I don't wear pink often, but this is going to be a special one, so hopefully I will, because it's not such a bright pink, it's more darker pink, which is nice. So yeah, because I'm not in my 20s anymore. So the third project I'm going to be making, again I'm going to put this picture here on the screen, is the Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. And yes, also many of you probably know it, extremely popular hat pattern. It actually has 20.7k projects on Ravelry at this time in early February 2024. Over 20,000 knitters on Ravelry alone have knitted the Musselburgh hat. It's a very popular pattern. I think it's quite special, and I'm not a hat knitter, I must say. I think in my time as a knitter I've only knitted about 5 hats or so, 6 including a baby hat. So I'm not a hat knitter. However, this one is really special because you knit a long tube and then you stick one half into the other half, which gives you a double layer. And then if you have a brim, if you then fold it up around the brim, it gives you 4 layers. So that will be quite warm. And I'm knitting mine on a fingering weight yarn. DK weight yarn I think will be already too heavy, because you're folding it in itself. It will be a double layer. Now if you have DK weight yarn or an Aran weight yarn, then would be way too thick and it would be uncomfortable and it wouldn't look good, because you fold it in, as I said, and you have a double layer at all times with a brim, a quadruple layer. Quadruple I think is 4 layers, I think, if I get my maths right there. So yeah, sorry. So yes, and I've actually already cast on the Musselburgh hat. So a couple of these projects that are in my Make 9, I've already cast them on. And I shall show you what I have. So, so first I have to untangle this. So please bear with me. So the Musselburgh hat is knit from the crown down. So you start with only 8 stitches at the crown, and you knit from the center out and you increase. And I will show you how this works. There. This is my beginning of the Musselburgh hat. I'm knitting it with Sakami yarn, fingering weight, in this gorgeous, oh, I wish I could tell you I will put the links and the name of the color. I will put that all in the description box below. So yeah, there we go. I'm knitting it on 5 DPNs, and I've only just bought them recently because I already have a set of Jago DPNs, a sock set, but it didn't have the right size. Plus also, even though I love Jago needles, the tips on those were a bit blunt. And with this one here, you have to make one increases. So make one left, make one right. And you really need sharp needles. Have a look how sharp this is. Can you see it? So this one I've ordered and it only came yesterday, I believe. It's the higher sharp DPNs. So yeah, you knit around and around, and you've got 4 increases here, and then you knit out, and then once you... So this is the amazing thing as well with this hat, you don't actually have to gauge swatch. You can start straight away, and then once you have a couple of inches on the needles, you measure your gauge, and then depending on what gauge you have, and depending on your size, so you will also measure your head circumference. So depending on your gauge, depending on the size of your head, you then choose, it's all written in the pattern. You then see basically how many stitches you need. And then you finish the crown increases. You can then put it on a circular needle and then just knit, stick stockinette stitch in the round, and it's going to be a beautiful TV project for me, watching TV project, because you just knit in the round. All you do is then the knit stitch, and you knit this long tube, and then on the bottom you mirror the increases by knitting some decreases, and that's it. That's the end. And there's so many variations as well, because you can actually choose 2 colors. So on the first half you can have color A, on the second half you can have color B, and then you have actually 2 hats in one, because depending on how you fold it, what color you fold into what side, you can then have, let's say, a wet hat and a green hat at the same time. Because, you know, if you... Yeah, I will show you once I've got it all. I'm not sure if that makes sense to everyone, but quite a few YouTube podcasters, you know, are knitting the Musselburgh hat, and so that's how I got inspired as well. So that's my, I think, project number 3. Is it project number 3? Yeah, that's right. So we had this Svila Camisole by Caidree, the Ranunculus, and the Musselburgh hat. This list is actually in no particular order, so I can change it. You know, I'm not I'm not setting it in stone in such a way where I'm, you know, dictating what project to knit in what month. I'm not doing that, to me. I'm not that cruel. So, you know, I can switch it up. And fourth project in 2024 is going to be the Magnolia Chunky Cardigan by Camilla. And I already have this cast on as well. And I shall show you now. So this is actually something that I have been meaning to knit for quite some time. Because my mum, this cardigan is going to be for my mum. And she was over in October. Let me show you this now. This is the Magnolia Chunky Cardigan by Camilla. Isn't it gorgeous? It has these bubbles and lace detail here. And I will check with my mum and ask her, would you like me to include this? Because she said, yeah, I would like a green cardigan. I said to my mum, I'd like to knit something for you. What can it be? And she said, yeah, a green cardigan. So we looked at some patterns, and I decided this one would be a good pattern because it has a really large stitch gauge, which is 16 stitches in 10 centimeters. So it will go fairly quickly. I deliberately chose this because I wanted a large stitch gauge, because I've been knitting quite a few cardigans lately. I have another cardigan on the go for myself, which is the timepiece cardigan, and I just recently finished a cardigan for my 9-year-old, which means this is actually the third cardigan that I'm knitting, which means it's a lot of back and forth knit and purls. And I shall show you what I have so far. This stitch marker here is on there to tell me which one is the right side, which one is the wrong side. So this here is the, what do you call it? The neckline? Ooh. And I think I'm knitting the size large, if not XL large, because it has to be comfy in you know, it has to be several inches of positive ease so that my mum can just throw it on when she goes outside. So, okay. This looks a bit small right now. Oh gosh, I hope it's not too small. But anyway, so I'm knitting it with, it should be alright, it should be alright. I'm knitting it with this DK weight yarn. I will link it all below. This is such a lovely green. And holding it together with 2 strands of silk mohair. So 2 strands of this and this, so basically DK weight yarn, 2 strands of silk mohair gives me a gauge of 16 stitches, which is perfect. And it's creating this lovely fabric. I hope she will like it. So yeah, this is project number 4. Right, now the next one is the Nordiska by Caitlin Hunter. So this has been on my wish list for quite some time. I had purchased a pattern long time ago, perhaps 1 or 2 years ago. It's been in my library on Ravelry for quite some time. So I've not knit a color work sweater before. So this will be my first. Oh wait, am I lying now? I have done some color work. I know I've knitted a Fair Isle hat for a baby. I think when I was pregnant with my daughter. And then I've knitted some Christmas baubles as well with a color work design on it. So I've knitted that, and what else with color work? And I've knitted in Tarja as well, a cardigan with 2 hearts here of a separate color. So I've done some color work, but this will be the first proper full garment color work project that I'll be making. So the Nordiska by Caitlin Hunter, and it has the color work around the sleeves and around the hem, so it's not going to be an all over color work. And I'll just show you the yarn that I'll be using for there. So I did shamelessly steal Inga's project there, idea, you know, yarn inspiration. I stole her yarn choice there because I'll be knitting it in Hilleswalk Ask, and I'll show you the colors now. And this wool is so special. It is wool from Norway. Obviously non-superwash. It's proper wool. And it's called Norsk Ullgarn. So I'll be knitting it in those 3 colors. So this grey one will be my main color, and these 2 will be the contrast colors. And this yarn I actually ordered on the Hillesvåg website, directly on the website, not through another reseller. And the Hillesvåg website doesn't actually have an English version of their website. It doesn't. It's all in Norwegian. So I whisked it and I gave it a try. I ordered on their website using Google Translate, to go through everything, because obviously I don't understand Norwegian. So I had to put everything into Translate to make sure I'm clicking on the right buttons. And I have to say, I mean, honestly, credit to Hillesvåg, to this branch. They are, I think, a long-standing yarn producer in Norway. I can show you a picture that's here on the label. So they've been around for well over 100 years. Yeah, since more than 1898. So yeah, and credit to them, because the purchasing process and the order and the delivery, it all went so smoothly. It came very quickly, considering it came from Norway, and I think they even when I paid, I think they had probably quoted me too much for the shipping fees, which I obviously paid. I didn't know, but then they sent me a refund as well, with no email, with no explanation. I saw not obviously the whole refund, but part of the money that I paid, I actually got refunded. It must be because of the delivery charges. They weren't as high as they suspected, so I got that refund as well. Which so I would have no troubles ordering from them again. So yeah, I could highly recommend it, because it is beautiful yarn. Oh, and this sweater is going to be lovely, stunning. Cannot wait to cast this on. So yeah, that was the Nordiska that I will be making this year. And next, so what project are we now? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was my 5th project for the year. And next is the Amy Slipover that I want to knit. And I'm going to show you, first of all, the pattern, if I can find the book now. Oh, there. So yeah, the Amy Slipover actually is a pattern in this pattern book by Sandnes Garn. And I've already knitted one garment in here. Let me show you. If I can find it. I've knitted the jewel skenser already. In a kind of orange-brown color, very beautiful. And the Amy Slipover, which is on my list, is this garment. It is a vest, actually. This is what I will be knitting, and here the special feature, like I talked earlier about my intentional knitting and every project being special and has a special design feature or a different construction, something different to the standard raglan jumper. Within this project, it's definitely here the straps that you tie together underneath your arms. Yeah. It's almost actually like a dicky. I'm not sure if you heard of a dicky. A dicky is a cowl that has also a front. So you have the cowl all around, and then it also has a front and a back. And so it almost then looks like a jumper. Difference being that it's not attached on the sides and it doesn't have sleeves. It's called a dicky, and it was very popular actually in the past in vintage knits. And this is quite similar. So you only have the front and you only have the back. But here being the difference is that you have these straps that you tie together. And I think it will look amazing. Cannot wait to knit this. And I will knit it with unspun yarn. Let me get it out for you and show you. I'll be knitting it with the Hillesvag unspun yarn. Oh, beautiful. We'll be holding it together with silk mohair. I do have to order the silk mohair. I haven't got that in my stash. But that will then hopefully be the only purchase that I'll be making. Yarn purchase. So that's that. Yes, because I'm also planning, in terms of my knitting plans for the year, I'm planning to only knit from stash, because I have so much yarn and it would be a shame, you know, not to knit with it. So yeah, so that's that. Right, next we are talking, that was the 6th, I think that was the 6th. Yeah, next project is going to be the Ballerina web top by Alexandra Tavel, and this caught my eye recently. It popped up on my Instagram, and really love it. It has this deep V, so it might even be a little bit revealing, but you know, you can always wear something underneath if it's too much for you. You know, you don't want to show off your cleavage too much. But anyway, it's a really beautiful kind of a web top, ballerina web top, like these ballerina cardigans, really. Funnily enough, this caught my eye at the same time that my 5-year-old started ballerina class. Right, is it a coincidence? I don't know. Is it not? I don't really believe in coincidences. It probably did catch my eye because she started ballerina lessons. So yeah, I cannot wait to knit the ballerina web top. I haven't got a pattern yet. For most of them I already have the pattern, but I haven't got this one yet. Also, I do not know what yarn to use for that one. But it has a stitch gauge of 20 stitches in 10 centimeters, DK weight yarn, so I should have something in stash. But whether it will be suitable is another question. So yeah, nothing to say about this one. All these projects I'm talking about, I'm just so eager to cast them all on at once, but obviously I can't. Well, I can, but that would be silly. Next project I like to make is the Weekend Slipover V-neck by PetiteKnit. This has been in my library as well for some time now. I've purchased the pattern a while ago, and it has quite a large stitch gauge of 15, sorry, that's my phone, sorry, of 15 stitches in 10 centimeters. And I'll be using the woolly knit British wool yarn that I have in stash. And because this yarn is actually a light fingering weight yarn, I would have to hold it triple in order to achieve the gauge, but I will have to swatch for it and see how it goes. But it's just a simple V-neck slipover and vest kind of thing, and I'm going to choose a neutral color so it can go with everything. So yeah, really excited about that one as well. Next up, I'll be knitting the Ripple Crop Top Worsted by Jessie Maed Designs. This has a gauge of 15 stitches in 10 centimeters, and I already have the yarn as well chosen for it already, and it's just a matter of time. Now and casting it on. Really excited about that. It's going to be like a t-shirt kind of garment for me. Is it 2x2 rib? It's an all over ribbed top, and you start from the bottom up, which is interesting as well, to knit from the bottom up. And it's going to be knit in the round, I suspect, and then once you reach the neckline or the v-neck, does it have a v-neck? No, it has like a round scoop neck. You obviously then split the front and the back, you split by the armholes. I haven't read the pattern yet, I'm only guessing how the construction will go. I do know though that it's knit from the top sorry, from the bottom up. So yeah, you would then, I'm guessing, yeah, you would then split here, knit the 2 fronts separately, you knit the back separately, and then you pick up stitches around the armholes, sew it together obviously, then pick up stitches and knit the short sleeves. I suspect this is how it's gonna go. We will find, we'll see if I'm wrong or not. Probably I am. I'm no knitwear designer, even though I wish I was. So yeah, that's the Whipple Crop top worsted. I chose the worsted version because it's a quicker knit, plus also I've got the yarn in stash. With whipped designs, the benefit there is that it's easy to get gauge, because whipping is extremely stretchy. So even if you do knit it a bit on the small side, it will stretch, yeah? Whereas stockinette stitch, you can only stretch it so far and then that's it, you know, you can't go anywhere else. Whereas with whipping, there's a good amount of stretch in it. So yes, that's the Whipple Crop top worsted. And, oh, is this already the last one we're on now? Yeah, the last project, this would be then the 10th project of my Make 9, Make 10, is the Summer Soufflé by Laura Penrose that I'd like to knit. And there, the special design feature, what makes this garment special rather than just a plain raglan t-shirt or pullover, is obviously the ruffle here around the yoke, and all over ruffle that goes around. There's several versions available. The Summer Soufflé, Silk Mohair Soufflé Summer. No, wait, I'm mixing this up now. So I'll be knitting the Summer Soufflé anyway, but there's also a Silk Mohair version available. This one looks really nice as well, but I really want the Summer Soufflé. I don't know yet what yarn I'll be using, but definitely this has to be in my 2024 knits as well. And it has a gauge of 20 stitches in 10 centimeters. And I think it's beautiful. It's something different, you know, it's feminine. So yes, these are my Make 9s. We will see what happens. I wanted to discuss some other projects real quickly as well that are on my radar, that are not on the list. I will probably not have the time to knit them this year. However, they will be knit in the future for sure, because they're beautiful. I want to make them one day. First one will be the Forest Berry Jacket by Fable Knitwear. Next, I'd like to knit another cardigan for myself. More lighter cardigan, because the one I'm currently knitting, the timepiece cardigan, is a very dense, almost an outdoor cardigan with nutiden. So the cardigan that I'd like to make in the future will be more lightweight cardigan. Then I would like to knit a vintage design. This is an actual vintage pattern that I purchased. I'm not sure, this might actually be called Feather and Fan stitch. This is a special stitch pattern here. I might be wrong. I'm going to put it on the screen. I have a feeling it's called Feather and Fan stitch, and it has different colors in it. So you've got here color 1, color 2, color 3, color 4, and then you can mirror the color pattern in the sleeves as well. So it's a vintage feminine garment, and it has not been modified to any modern standards. This is an actual vintage pattern that I bought on Etsy. And yeah, I only can show you real quickly. So the instructions here, it only has written instructions. I prefer charts. I think they're easier to knit from. Oh, I love these vintage photos. It's beautiful. So only written instructions. So it's going to be tricky, and you really, you need a lot of brain bandwidth to knit this. So this will be something I will knit in the future, but not now. I don't think I can manage to pull it off this year at all, as much as I'd like to. It seems to be very limited in terms of size. It only has a 35-inch bust. I'm a 36-inch bust, which means I will probably have to alter the gauge in order to make it fit. So that's that. And then 2 more patterns I'd like to discuss. First one is the flutter butt shirt. Now who's that one by? The flutter butt shirt. Here we go. I've got it up on the laptop. Also by Jessie Maed Designs. Once again, very feminine garment. I will knit that as well in the future. It's very beautiful. And then the last one I'd like to make is the Bessie by Jacqueline Sislak. It has a very wide neckline, and I also have the yarn already chosen for this as well. So yeah, you can see I have plenty of knitting plans, and we shall see whether this is all going to happen the way I want it. Yeah, as I said, I'm very time limited. I'm also studying as well. I work full time and things like that. So life is busy. But the knitting keeps me grounded. It makes me happy. I get excited by it still every day. You know, when I think about it, I have all these different plans and dreams. But yeah. Yes, I hope you're well, and hopefully I can podcast again soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, happy knitting. I shall see you. Bye.